Hey brewers and beer lovers, it's Jake with superbrewers.com. Just here with another update. Sorry it's been a while. Hate the excuse that life got crazy, but I actually threw out my back in the middle of a brew day in early December, and it was really bad. So I haven't been able to brew since I think it was the first week of December. I tried to get a batch going. So it's the day before New Year's Eve, and I wanted to record a video before the end of the year and just kind of let you know I'm really working on getting more time to do videos and do some other stuff on superbrewers.com. I have some ideas for some tap handles I want to sell, and I will give updates on that as I'm able. Gonna try to revive the Iron Brewer competition. There's still some guys that have been patient enough to stick with it. We're gonna have to reopen registration hopefully in January to get that rolling so we can get it done. I have a couple sponsors I need to talk to. If you know of anybody that is active in homebrewing as a business, suppliers, anything like that, please put them in touch with me. We're just looking for prizes for people to get just for participating, and then some nice stuff to give the people that win the challenge. The way I like to describe the competition is it's a cross between the 16-team playoff bracket and Iron Chef, but with beer. And so you get weird ingredients and techniques and stuff for a challenge. You match off head to head, and the best brewer or brewing team continues to the next level. And so the 4 rounds, each round is a little bit different. It's not just about ingredients. There's usually some crazy techniques thrown in just for good measure. It is a lot of fun. Trying to get that set up so that we can be done by middle of 2017. If you're interested, let me know so I can I can send you the link as soon as I get the registration posted. But Christmas 2016 has come and gone, and I usually brew a couple batches of beer, so I have beer to give away as presents. Just different medical stuff in the family has kept me from doing that. So I am hoping to still brew later today. Just gonna do a small session beer that I can get in, basically just use it like a big starter, because the yeast I have is a couple months old. So just gonna do like a really simple malt bill with some Sots hops and ferment it with San Diego super yeast. Get that kicked off, and then I want to do some IPAs and other beers with the yeast after this first batch. There are some things that made me very sad this year. You can see my chest freezer that I've been using for my kegs and stuff died at the beginning of December. Haven't had time to replace it yet, so I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to find a replacement, so I might have to go back to bottling for a while, but I know I'm gonna have to do at least a couple batches into kegs, because I'm gonna be at the Fond du Lac Brewfest February 4th, I believe is the date. But if you're in Wisconsin, it's a lot of fun. Big brew festival. I was there 2 years ago. There's like almost 200 beers, and over 50% of them were made by home brewers who made it just to share. And there's a competition, voting by the attendees. They get to pick their favorite homebrew, and the winning home brewer gets to, this year, is going to be able to have their beer brewed commercially. So a lot of fun, really looking forward to that, getting away for a couple days, just spend Saturday driving, and then once the festival starts, then just taking it easy the rest of the evening, sleeping in Sunday, and then driving home. It's about a 4-hour drive, but it's a lot of fun. So totally worth it in my opinion. If you're, I think I have like a 3-hour drive to get there. I won't suggest that you should go if you have a further drive to Fond du Lac than that, but you really should, because it's totally worth it. One of the cool things that happened for Christmas is one of my cousins out in Washington State, her husband loves beer, and we got to hang out in October. And when I got home from Washington, my cousin sent me a message and was like, hey, Eric's wondering if you want to swap beers for Christmas. So he did a care package, shipped it to me. I got it after Christmas, so I had one of the beers already. It was a Trickster IPA from Black Raven Brewing Company. Really tasty. The had nice bitterness, not a lot of aromatics, but I think it was canned back in October, so that might have a little something to do with it, but it seemed like it was just a solid beer. And one of the other beers that he sent me that I'm excited to try is Space Dust from Elysian. Somebody tell me how to pronounce that. I think it's Elysian Brewing. I've heard about it, never tried it before, so I'm looking forward to it. Got a nice hiss. And my pre-wet glass. Put that in there. Nice light color. Not super carbonated, which I like. A lot of times, it seems like a lot of commercial beer gets so over carbonated, but oh, that's like really orange and grapefruit in the aroma up front. And there's a hint of like just kind of a maybe it's just like a citrus rind pith smell, but there's a little more complexity to the aroma, and I can't place what that other aroma is. Oh. Nice firm bitterness up front, lots of citrus rind bitterness, which who doesn't love that in an IPA? But oh, that's tasty. So the color on it, I would say, is kind of a dark gold color, and the aroma on that, just lots of I think it's pine that's mixed in with the citrus, but it blends so well together with that pithy aroma and flavor. Just works so well together that I have trouble differentiating between the two. But I am really gonna try hard to do more updates. You might have seen some of the mess in my office when I showed the shot of the chest freezer. A lot of the mess is actually like half completed projects that I have video footage of the beginning, and now I have to finish the project so I can get them posted. I want to get more of that done. I'm excited about getting my brewing procedure down better. Right now I brew out in the garage, and most of my gear is at the other end of the house in the basement. And so my wife and I have been talking about getting a better setup for me to brew more easily, and hopefully that's going to happen early this year. We're actually talking about taking the room that I have all my gear in right now, gutting it, moving the laundry room in there, and then moving all my brew stuff into the laundry room where there's a root cellar and direct access to the garage. So if I'm brewing in the garage, it's all right there and I don't have to walk through the whole house carrying stuff. Which brings up my back injury from my last brew day. It was really stupid, but you know, we get kind of sloppy and take for granted some of the stuff we do as homebrewers. I'd gotten my mash water heated up, put it in the mash tun with the grain, mixed it up, carried it inside to put in the kitchen. It was freaking cold out, so wanted it to keep as much temperature as possible, and I was gonna do an extended mash because we were gonna run some errands. But after I brought it inside, I went to move it from one counter to another one, and I was kind of hunched forward and didn't have my back straight, and I grabbed it weird and lifted up, and as soon as I took the whole weight on my hands, I knew my back was in trouble. So I got it to the counter where I was trying to get it. I kind of wish I hadn't, because maybe if I dropped it faster I wouldn't have gotten hurt. But moved it, back started to calm down a little bit, and then I went to move it again to see if I could continue the brew day. Or no, I was setting something else up because I was like, let's try to get this finished, and back just went into full-blown spasm. Spent a good chunk of the afternoon in the emergency room. Once I got there, the closest emergency room's over 20 miles away, so the drive was horrendous. But I'm trying to plan out a better setup for when I brew so that I don't have to lift anything once the water's in the hot liquor tank. I don't want to have to lift anything until I'm picking up the carboy or fermenter that has beer in it at the end of the process. Just because, I mean, I was only doing a 5-gallon batch, so it was only about 40 pounds, which I normally don't have any sort of problem lifting that weight. But I lifted wrong, and just want to tell you guys the less lifting you can do, the better. Part of the problem might have also been, since inside the mash tun it was kind of liquid, so it sloshed, so the weight shifts kind of weird when you move it. Just try to avoid that as much as you can. I know a lot of guys do it. I know I do it a lot with my current process, so I'm trying to rethink that so that I don't have to deal with that risk of back injury. Also, gonna talk a little more about safety coming up, because I saw some pictures of a guy that he was brewing and he left a ball valve open and the hot liquid came out, completely scalded the top of his foot because he was just wearing, you know, regular mesh top workout shoes, and just soaked in and he couldn't get it off fast enough. And yeah, so be careful while you're brewing, guys. It's a hobby, it's supposed to be fun. Don't get hurt, because if you get hurt, you can't make more beer. And if you can't make more beer, you can't drink more beer. And that's a tragedy. Cheers. Happy New Year. See you in 2017. And hopefully I'll have a lot more videos for you. And I'm also taking the audio off of these videos, and I'm gonna start posting those as a podcast. There might be some additional stuff I talk about in the podcast, but we'll see. So it's still up in the air. If you're interested in getting the audio version of this, just go to superbrewers.com. There's a podcast link up at the top, and that will connect you to the feed for my podcast. And I just really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. So, brew up an adventure. Have a great 2017. Here's to hoping it's better than this year.